Okay, so I'm gonna make this quick. You wanna know how to stream on a console using a capture card. So I have Elgato's 4KX right here. Most definitely the best capture card that you can get. Now, I'm going to be showing you how to do this on my Xbox Series X. If you have a PlayStation, the capture card does work on PlayStation as well, works on Switch, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do it on an Xbox. And there's different variants of Elgato's capture cards out there. The 4KX is the one that you want if you're trying to hit those 120 frames that your Xbox Series X or your PlayStation 5 allows you to do. I'm going to quickly go into what you'll need besides this capture card if you're trying to display your games on your computer. And it's pretty simple. You need the capture card, you need the USB-C cable that will give it power, and you also need 2 HDMI cables because there's 2 HDMI ports on this capture card. Now, if you buy yourself a 4KX out of the box, it actually comes with the HDMI cable and the USB-C cable that you need. And obviously, if you already have a console to play on, you have the other HDMI cable that you need, so you're pretty much covered right there. Now, if you look at the back of this device, you're going to see 3 ports here on the capture card. You have HDMI in, HDMI out, and then the USB-C. So from your console, make sure you connect the HDMI from your console into the HDMI in port, and then for the HDMI out port, you use the other HDMI that is included with your capture card, and you put that into your monitor. And the USB-C cable will be connected to your computer or your laptop. So there is software on your computer that you will need to download, and that is the Elgato 4K Capture Utility. This will allow you to update your device, which you probably will have to do, and I'm going to show you that in a second. If you don't know where to find this application and where to download it, all you have to do is go over to Elgato's website, and you'll see on the top right here where it says downloads. You click on that, and then you're going to want to scroll a little bit down, and you'll see one of the first downloads you have here is the 4K Capture Utility. And you can even see here that when it says compatible with, you see the 4KX capture card as one of the compatible devices for this software. So I already have my Xbox Series X connected to the capture card now, and that's why it's popping up on my 4K Capture Utility. Now, out of the box, my 4KX was not displaying 120 frames. I had to update the device in order to get the 120 frames. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Make sure you go into your settings here, and where it says device, you can see that you have your Elgato 4KX here. So make sure you have that checked on. And in the general settings where it says check for updates, you can even check mark it for automatic updates once you finish this, but click on check for updates. It's going to scroll through to see if there's any updates for your device. And then once you do that, if you're not getting 120 frames from your capture card, you'll get it after you do this. And then once you're finished that, you can just press OK, then close out 4K Utility. You no longer need this. Now, on the Xbox Series X side of things, on your home screen, you'll see that you have the settings button over here. So you're going to go into your settings and go to your TV and display options. And here you're going to see your display resolution and your refresh rate. Now, this is dependent on which kind of monitor you have. If you're trying to play on 120 frames on a monitor using a capture card, make sure that the monitor can actually go up to 120 frames. And whether it's a 4K monitor or a 1080p monitor, make sure you input that here. So this monitor is 1080p, and then when you make changes on here, it's going to ask you if you want to keep those changes. So just press OK. So once you have the correct resolution set, where it says refresh rate, you'll see that after you update your card, because if you do this before you update your capture card, you might not see 120 hertz on the refresh rate. Make sure you look for that firmware update and then come back to this. So just click on 120 hertz, and then it's going to cycle through and then ask you if you want to keep the settings. And then once you're done that, you can just back out, and any game that supports 120 hertz, like Apex Legends, for example, you can then go on to the game and then you'll have 120. Now, keep in mind, for the titles that do support 120 frames, there is normally a setting in the game itself where it's like performance mode that would give you the 120 frames. So for Apex Legends, for example, there's a setting in the game where you need to turn it on in order to get the 120. Otherwise, you'll be stuck on 60 the entire time, regardless of the fact that you set it to 120 in your Xbox settings. And that's basically all you need to know. Make sure you update your device before you set it up for 120 frames if that's what you're using it for. And basically all the cords you need are out of the box. Just hook up your console and you're good to go. If you have any other questions about the capture card or streaming, make sure to leave them in the comments below. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to leave a like, leave even an emoji in the comments. You have nothing to say. Helps with the engagement, supports me, really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my content. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.